Hey there, toy collector friends and fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and probably the Marvel Comic Universe too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the time-travelling toy collector, and this is the Marvel Legends Doctor Strange Eye of Agamotto from Hasbro. And this was a very unexpected pickup for me. It was gifted to me over Christmas 2021. And I did not expect it, and I was absolutely gobsmacked by the level of intricacy and detail in this model. I've had to sort of contain it a bit for the purposes of bringing it to the review station, so I will bring it in hand in a moment, so I can bring it closer to the lens so you can see it, because it does have this very trailing cable, which is for cord rather for around the neck. Let me zoom in a little closer so you can actually see in real detail the Eye of Agamotto talisman itself. You can see there, very reminiscent of the Sorcerer Supreme's Sanctum Sanctorum windows that in the house that Doctor Strange now inhabits in New York. This is a beautiful piece. It's not really, well, I was going to say it's not really a display model. It is more 100% a toy. I'm just going to pan down a bit so you can see the extent of the detailing on the stand as well. This is the stand that it comes with. So you can see just how beautiful. I mean, you can see there the panel work on the detailing on the stand that the Eye of Agamotto talisman sits on. The paint is exquisitely weathered. It really does look old and ancient. Even here you can see the various intricacies of the modelling that's gone on to produce this. But let's look at as an entity display piece, it is beautiful. It is, from my reading up on the nature of it, is a sort of a cosplay companion piece, but it's also it's a toy, you know, which is, it's in the right place. It's a toy, but it's just so beautiful, and it's so intricately detailed. You can really get a sense that this has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's absolutely beautiful. And so let me bring it closer to the lens for now, so you can get a real sense of all of that internally layered detailing within the Eye of Agamotto. And if you think that's all it does, it isn't. I'm going to show you a bit more of what it does in a second. And if you follow my Instagram page, you've already seen it. But it's a bit different because there's some other features that it has as well, which I'm going to share here. So you can really get that sort of that talisman sense. Let me put it back on the stand. I'm going to pull out slightly just so I've got a bit more maneuverability in terms of going handheld on the item. So you can see there the beauty of it and what it looks like as a display piece. I mean, it really is adorable. I'm gonna, as I say, I'm gonna bring it up. It's very lightweight. It looks a lot heavier than in actual reality it is, but it is a beautiful piece. I'll show you underneath. I mean, it's actually plastic, so just spoil the illusion. So the base area is essentially just a plastic mold, but it's the level of attention to detail within that mold and the level of attention to detail to the paintwork is what sells it. Now around the back it's also detailed, but you can start to see some of the mechanics of the thing, which is slightly more disappointing. You can already see, as I bring the back view into play here, that there's a button which will come into play shortly, and you can see the screws, which are a bit disappointing. It's a shame there weren't caps available to cover those screws up, but you know what, we do need them because we need to put in the batteries, because yep, this isn't just a glamorous fashion accessory. This is a practical toy with lights. And I was going to say with lights and sound, there is sound, but the sound isn't really part of the function of the toy itself. The sound is, in fairness, the motor, but we'll see that in a second. So this is what it looks like in its sort of, if you like, display mode. You can also, and this is where it gets super cool, this detaches, hence the need for the cord. That detaches, and it does become its own separate piece, which you, whilst cosplaying as Doctor Strange or Thanos or whoever you want to cosplay as, can then wear around your neck. In total, in height-wise, it's about 20 centimeters tall when it's on the stand. So if you think about where you might display it, if you're going to display it, you might want to bear that in mind. Sorry, this cable is very unruly. So this is the actual art. Well, this is the casing for the Eye of Agamotto, if we're going to get very technical about it. But this is the ancient talisman that houses the Eye of Agamotto. The Eye of Agamotto being the Time Stone, which is one of the Infinity Stones, we all know if we've been following the Infinity Saga and beyond, as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and also the comic book universe as well. But I just really wanted to sort of spend a little bit of time really appreciating what this looks like in hand, because there's an awful lot of attention to detail and love, I think, that's gone into the manufacture of this. I think there's so much love behind the quality and the detailing of the Marvel films anyway, that it can't help but bleed into some of their legend class releases. I did have, albeit briefly, the Marvel Legends Iron Man electronic helmet, but unfortunately the battery compartment wasn't intact, shall we say, so it meant there were problems trying to take the screws out to update the batteries, and it ended up having to be sent back to the retailer, and then they didn't have any left, and then it was all very sad, and then the price for them went up ridiculously online. So I'm waiting for a bargain on the Iron Man helmet, and I'm currently considering whether or not I think the Spider-Man helmet, mask helmet, because it shouldn't really be a helmet, is a bargain. I don't think it is yet. So anyway, enough digressing about the Marvel Legends range. Focusing on this, we all know, whilst it looks great, that it's something that you would have hanging around your neck, and it does fit. Believe me, I've worn it. I wore it to go and see the neighbours on Christmas Day, because of course I did. So it does look great when you're wearing it. It hangs nicely. But it also has this clasp here at the top. This clasp at the top isn't really a clasp. It's a not so well cunningly concealed button that when you activate it as part of your spell casting, it activates the release mechanism on the Eye of Agamotto. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. So here we go. How cool is this? So it automatically opens up in that rotating fashion and reveals the Eye of Agamotto inside, which, as you can see, is an illuminating green stone. And the green stone, of course, is the Infinity Time Stone. And that is beautifully situated at the heart of this toy. And again, if you wanted to seal it up, it's a manual twist of the mechanism, locks back in place. Very straightforward, very easy to do. So a child's hand can do it as well as an adult's hand, so it's not too problematic. There's not really any way you can get your fingers stuck, which is of course something I would do if it was possible to do. So it's safe on that front. And one more time, click, and wow, it opens up, and there it is. And I do like it because you bring it close, and it's quite eerie looking, and you can get a real sense of, goodness me, the Eye of Agamotto is quite a powerful and foreboding thing. So I love it, obviously, because how could you not love it? It does have another feature. Remember our friendly button around the back here? Now, once I've done this, it tends to be almost impossible for you to do it, get it back in. So please bear with me once I've done it. I may not do it for the purposes of closing up this video. But this button will eject, when I press it, with my fingers on it right now, it will eject the stone out of the casing, and it will become free. Pyong, he says. as he presses the stone desperately. There we go. And so it releases it, didn't go prone quite as I was expecting it to, and it stays illuminated, and I love that. So it charges up the battery within the stone. I'll pop this back on the stand for now, at least. There we go. Don't fall off. And we have the stone, and as you can see, it's the Infinity Stone. It's the Time Stone from the Infinity Stones, and it operates, so it's charged there whilst it's in the casing, but it remains lit. I can't tell you how long it remains lit for away from the main base, as I've never tested it on that front, but I think it's really cool, and it gives off that lovely eerie glowing light from the very center of it. But I think that's so cool. And you almost want to have a load of other accessories where you can collect your own. I know that there is the Thanos and the Iron Man gauntlets that hold the lighting up stones, but I'm not sure whether they detach or not. But I really love this. And again, putting it in, I'll try it just to be, this is what happens, it starts to go all over the place. So apologies if you can't really see because my elephantine fingers get in the way, but it does just click into place, and you see there that it's got a little bit of a lighter glow once we'd inserted it. And I'll just see if I can take the lighting of the station down a bit so you can see what it looks like there. I think that's lovely, isn't it? It has that real sort of eerie kind of glow there, and you can get a real sense. So you can display it like that. You can display it. You know, if you're having a Halloween party and there's kids coming round, or there's Marvel fans coming round, or whatever, or you're just having a Marvel movie night or whatever, you can have it, you know, on display alongside your Thanos gauntlet and Iron Man gauntlet and whatever else you might have. But I think it's lovely. I think that's really lovely. So there you can see the beauty of that in the darker light there. So I'm just going to zoom in just to give you that particular full effect there. But yeah, I really think it's a beautiful piece, and I personally, it's something I probably wouldn't have picked up for myself, in fairness, but I am really glad that somebody picked it up for me. So I'll just get the main lights back on for that. Zoom back out so you're left with a remaining image of that particular model. But I think it's great. I really like it. Does it have a place in your collection? Well, only you know if that's something you'd like to get your hands on. I certainly didn't think it had a place in my collection until I had it, and then of course once I had it in hand, I can't imagine not having it. To be perfectly honest, I think it's absolutely gorgeous as a piece. And I'm so grateful for receiving it at Christmas. That's the beauty of being a toy collector. There's always there's always something that someone can get you for Christmas or your birthday that you weren't perhaps expecting and can be delighted and thrilled by. And this is certainly an example of exactly that kind of piece. Anyway, thank you very much for spending the last 15 or so minutes with me. You've been a lovely audience. I hope you found this interesting. If you do think that this has helped you have a close look at the Eye of Agamotto toy, and you think, oh, actually, yeah, I could do with that as a collection piece, or my kids would really appreciate that, or actually, no, I don't think so. That stone's going to get lodged up somebody's nose, or they're going to get it lodged in their mouth, or something stupid like that. Then at least you've had a chance to explore it up close and personally with me, and that is something that you might then take away and can inform your toy buying decisions. So if that is the case, please do like the video. It really helps me. And also, whilst you're doing that, why not subscribe to the channel as well? That way you'll never miss an upcoming video that may include Marvel or other franchises like Star Trek or Star Wars or Transformers or Doctor Who or anything like that. There's, you know, it's quite an eclectic range. I mean, it doesn't get more eclectic than the Eye of Agamotto, probably. That's quite something. So you know, stick around, have a little look at some of the other videos and playlists. There might be something there that grabs your attention, and maybe you're just going to get sucked into the Eye of Agamotto itself, and be on a time loop watching this video over and over and over and over again. Anyway, I've been the time traveling toy collector. You have been a wonderful audience. Thank you for staying with me for the last 15-60 minutes. As I said, I do hope this has been a useful and informative insight into the Hasbro Eye of Agamotto toy from the Marvel Legends range. Do please remember, as I think you can safely see with this piece, that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. And I look forward to seeing you in a future video, or of course, given this is the time stone, a past video. Take care and bye-bye for now.